guys, welcome back to my channel. This is your sister Kathy with another week of Married at First Sight, season 13. This is episode 3. Before I get started, I just want to say my sidekick's not with me today. She's on vacation, family, but hopefully she'll be back next week to join me. I miss my baby girl, but oops, sorry. I don't know what happened to my video. Kind of like, I think I hit it and it like conked. But to continue, yeah, missing baby girl. But hopefully she'll be back with us next week. Before I continue, please don't forget to like, comment, because I really want your feedback on this. And let's dialogue on it and see, your opinion on what happened this week. And also share and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so when new content comes out, you don't miss. Now, this week, our darling couples, we are going to start off, because I always have my little trusty notes, right? We're going to start off with Val and Johnny. I am getting very hopeful for these two couples. I really expecting the best. I'm hoping it works out. I think they make a great couple. And if you recall this week, one of the things that really I found interesting, but I'm still really not surprised, because I can see as time went on how, especially at the reception, how enthused she was of Johnny and how they really seemed happy with him. And I thought Bo would be really difficult to please, but being that she knows him, I think that's a level of comfort. And what she said was interesting is that she had a crush on Johnny back in college, but she didn't have the nerve to, like, I guess, speak up and let him know how she felt. Maybe she was intimidated with that quote-unquote player, lifestyle that he had, even though he was really smart. I think she, knew that he came from good stock, so to speak, but she didn't have the heart to step to him and let him know how she felt. A lot of times I can get it, because even though we crush sometimes as girls, young women, we don't want to be the one to make that move. I don't know if she ever gave him any signals back in college. But, yeah, it was interesting to know that she crushed on him. And now it makes me wonder if Bo almost put herself like in this bubble, so to speak, and made this whole world for her. Maybe a world is a little unrealistic of all these lists of things, how she wants her Prince Charming to be, but she never maybe explored too many relationships. So in her mindset, this is how it should be. So that level of reality, I hope Bo has and understands that it's a level of give and take. Everything on that list, and we'll speak to another person out of these couples that's like that, is not going to always fit. You're not always going to have everything on the list. If you have the majority, 60%, that's great. If you have 75%, that's great. But there's just going to be no perfect list and no perfect person. But I really enjoyed the fact that they talked about love languages, and I love that book, The 5 Love Languages, and the authors really escaped me. But that's really good, because a lot of times when we're in relationships, we think, we express love differently. And if a person is not speaking love or giving you in that way that is your love language, you think they don't love you. But everyone has their own unique way of expressing that. And the hard thing about it is Val is not affectionate. Her family wasn't. And you saw that Johnny, sat down. I believe that was her brother or cousins, friends, he was discussing, and he talked about his love language, and he said, how was it, with Bo, was she affectionate? Was your family affectionate? And they said no, and they were like very stiff. And many families, especially certain cultures, are very straight-laced and not really expressing to, especially you have that old school, Asian background. You have variety of different ethnicities and cultures that are not really affectionate people like that. They will serve you, they will provide for you, but they won't necessarily be touchy-feely and kiss and stuff like that. I know Latino families, you know, black families, even some black families are like sometimes cold too. We're not always affectionate. I didn't have a big affectionate side when it came to my mom, but my dad was more affectionate. I got more so from him than my mom. So I see myself sometimes not always affectionate. Touch isn't really my big love language. For me, I like serving, and I like giving words of affirmation. I like receiving words of affirmation and service when you're doing things, you know, for me. I think that'll really show me you care. But at the same time, who wouldn't want affection as well? I mean, when you think about children who are in foster care, and that's what I do by profession. You know, I'm a legal assistant, and I work with, you know, those who are in DIFAS care, and a lot of the big importance in that is having babies being picked up and held during the course of the day by nurses, and those are in these facilities so they don't grow up hard and cold and, you know, not wanting affection. I think that's a very part of, you know, just growing up, to have that love and affection, that touch, that pat, you know, rub on the shoulder, to really make you feel like someone cares. And that's Johnny's love language, and he really he said he's affectionate, and that's how he grew up in his family. So hers is service. So they're gonna have to learn to understand each other's language. But at the same time, Bo, if you know that Johnny needs that little reinsurance, even if it's just a tap on the shoulder, a little rub on the shoulder, it doesn't have to be all kissy and all, let's slobbing each other down. No. But sometimes just holding that hand, squeezing that hand, rubbing that back, you know, a hug, it makes all the world of difference. And I think that's what many of us need in life, right? Sometimes we just need a hug to really make a difference. And many of us have missed that over the past year. Just that level of affection that really, it just makes somebody feel better. I mean, it's been a long time even for me. If someone was to give me a hug, I probably burst out in tears, because that's something that I haven't had in a long time. And being single, you miss those things. So yeah, it's really needed. So I hope Val, you know, Bo gives that. I don't know, Val, Bo, I'm sorry if I'm getting your name wrong. I keep forgetting how it's pronounced. But Bo, give, you know, even if it's, you know, sometimes, I hope she will be able to give him, as time goes on, that affection that he needs. But she doesn't know that. So sometimes what you don't know, no one can blame you. It's going to take a time to get adjusted to that. So didn't mean to spend too much time on that, but that really hit me. So that act of service. And even when they got after the reception, they were really good. Now even with if you notice the eye contact, she didn't really give too much eye contact at the dinner when she was having a conversation. And when you're speaking to someone, you should look up off your plate and give that person that eye contact, like you really care and you're paying attention. And I noticed a lot she didn't do. I don't know if it's shy. I don't know if she's still, maybe it's a butterfly. She's still, you know, those old crushes is coming, that old crush is coming back with Johnny, but this is your husband now. So just, you know, I just noticed that that eye contact is really important. And, you know, she splurged on, if you remember the comment with the Jimmy Choos, sometimes you want to splurge a little bit on yourself. I think she is modest. I don't think she's crazy extravagant. I don't see Bo as that when it comes to spending. But when it comes to a special occasion, let's say a graduation, a wedding, maybe a bride, baby shower or something, you want to do something special. You maybe want to splurge on something. Maybe you're going on a special big vacation and you go clothes shopping. So I think your wedding, you deserve some Jimmy Choos or designer shoes. And even then, she got it on assignment. I mean, he looked at her when she was like, you know, Jimmy Choos, like, oh my God, she's going to be deep in my pockets. But Johnny, she got it on consignment. So she didn't even get them brand new. You know, they were slightly used. She said, you know, sometimes person wear it in the house maybe once, and, you know, they're like stupid, crazy wealthy. Some people do that, and then they wear something once and then they give it away. There are a lot of upscale consignment stores, especially where you may in certain neighborhoods that are very, very, when I say slightly worn, slightly worn. And so she treated herself. So Johnny, she knows how to save coins. Okay, let's not get crazy. She deserved for her wedding day those Jimmy Choos. Now, oh yeah, and so that night she really is not into affection because she put that border pillow in between them to block Johnny. Poor Johnny couldn't even get his wife in his arms on his wedding night. Bo, you did not have to do that on the man's wedding night. You could at least let him hold you or give him a little affection that one night. You didn't have to do anything. But to put that pillow in between you, like, really? But, yeah, I hope after a while that pillow moves after a couple nights. Bo, come on, okay? Hope so. Next, we have... I think I'll get into the next one. I didn't think I was going to spend too much time on them, but I really wanted to get into the love languages. That, I guess that was important to me. Next, we're going to talk about Brett and Ryan. First time I saw that smile, like, there goes that smile. I mean, he was like lit up when he saw her come down the aisle because she was strikingly gorgeous with that red hair, and you know, he dived right in there and gave her that kiss before the bastard was even ready to get to that part. Then when it was time to kiss the bride, he kissed her a second time, and she was like, I got a kiss, because it's been like 2 years, I think, since she got a kiss. So she was like, not even once, but she was so excited she got 2 kisses. So that was like super cute. But they seem really relaxed, comfortable with each other. Brett seems like the type that's easy to get along with. I'm still trying to read Ryan, but it seems like he opened up. He's real chill. His friends even said that, you know, he's real confident and real chill. They're really, what was interesting is that they didn't see each other as their type. I don't know what type of woman Ryan usually has. I don't know if she's blonde, blue eyes. I don't dark hair. I don't know what the thing is. Light hair, but it wasn't his normal type. Well, guess what? You are a serial dater who hasn't gotten it right. So your type hasn't been working, Ryan. So try Brett. You know, I have a little fondness for her because she's originally Jersey girl, and now she's, you know, Texan like yourself, but it's still different. I mean, coming especially from the Northeast, and you know, getting someone from the South or the Midwest who's into the country, who's into hunting, which the look on her face, she wasn't crazy about that. That's like night and day, Northeast to the South, and how a lot of times how you live in. City girl and country boy is one extreme to the next. As I get older, I wouldn't mind a nice, good man from the South that will take care of me. Good Southern values, you know, Southern hospitality, really knows how, you know, good values, who knows how to take care of a woman, treat her. I would love that, you know, because a lot of men and women in the South were trained that way. So, and I grew up in the South with my grandparents going every summer, cousins and friends. I've seen that life, and it was extremely different from what, you know, I was used to up in the city. So it's a difference. They're still young, not crazy young, but you know, it'll maybe be a bigger adjustment from someone like myself in the 50s who really would like, you know, a little more calm pace. I won't want no one super slow, but at this point in my life, you know, going towards retirement, I've been, you know, had my good times, you know, a little more wild, and you want to sometimes just chill and, you know, enjoy life a little, you know, slower, so that, you know, I can see. But when you're younger, that might be a big adjustment. So hopefully that's something that they can work out, the differences, and, you know, just really learn to adjust, because this is marriage. You're not in a dating show. This is not dating, you know, let me see how I get to know someone, and I'm not feeling them, I'm done. No, you got to really take those steps to really understand people's idiosyncrasies and their ways, and just learning, you know, about the different areas and how you two grew up, and how that goes into your day-to-day life and how you handle one another, because it's not going to be necessarily maybe how you grew up, maybe more city, and how he did things growing up in the country. So that's going to take some adjustment. So I'm hoping they'll be able to do that. I am still thrown, excuse me, from what I've seen with previews to come. Have you seen those previews? Okay, I digress. Stay here, Kathy, but we're going to have some doozies in the weeks to come. Okay, yeah, but that's about it for Brett and Ryan. So that adjustment, them not being each other's type, and we'll see how that goes, because our types just didn't work before. Okay, sometimes we got to do it another way. So let's see what the experts saw. Now, next we are going to get into, okay, Michaela and Zack. The vibe is still there. We know the chemistry is there. I'm starting to see some things unraveling. Like I had mentioned, some concerns when it comes to Zack. I really, really love Zack. I spoke on it in my last videos. You know, certain things that's a little concerning. You know, his longest relationship has been 9 months. Like I said, he's not that old. He's still in his late 20s, but there's still certain things with him that I see. Just his level of fragility, so to speak, his self-esteem, I think, being overly concerned, real sensitive on how he's going to be accepted, and that really played itself out this week. He mentioned how he grew up in basically a predominantly white school, and because of his beautiful black skin, he was teased about that, and he was made to feel like he wasn't good looking. So I think that I can see played itself out. Color has been something we have always dealt with in our community. This goes way, way back with slavery, with those who are light skinned versus those who are dark skinned. Like I said, that's another topic in and of itself. And many of us, you know, still go through that if we haven't gone through therapy, if we haven't learned to, you know, really embrace who we are as black men and women. And in particular, the root of a lot of things, the dynamics, you know, may be a little bit more severe when it comes to black men and the challenges they face, and then to have color on top of that. And a lot of times that plays into our lack of confidence and self-esteem as we get older. And many times we don't look at men as having, you know, these type of issues. Women, we talk about it more. You know, it's okay to be sensitive about certain things when it comes to women, but men go through a lot as well. And that is going to play out in his level of acceptance as he's gotten older. And I think that's what a lot of that emotion and crying to hoping his wife would accept him, that emotional side before he met her, that's where it came from. So a lot of this is still going to play itself out in his marriage. So I hope some of these issues the counselors will address, and in the future him and Kayla will go through some marriage counseling, because this is all new. This is quick. They'll be able to handle these dynamics throughout their marriage, because it can really harm it if they don't work through it. You're beautiful, Zack. I love dark-skinned men. I've always loved that. I think they're absolutely gorgeous, along with dark-skinned women. Black is absolutely beautiful. A lot of our people still have not embraced that within themselves and saw themselves as not as beautiful, but people have made them to feel that way. So she told him, you are absolutely beautiful, and they're crazy not to think that you were gorgeous. Now everyone, white and other nationalities, embrace our black men and see the beauty in that. But that has not always been the case, and some still don't to this day. So I hope they work through these issues. The family, I hope, play a part in helping them solidify and work through some issues that they may have in the future. But I'm just praying and hoping that Zack and Michaela work through some of these idiosyncrasies and issues that may come about in their relationship. Seriously. We can also see when they got to the room, he had his eyes on them condoms that they set up for them. They want you to practice safe sex, Zach. Not necessarily that you had to use them, but the sparks really were flying at the hotel. Okay, Merrill and Gill. They each had conversations with, each other's friends and family members. That's what most of the couples did. One of the things that was interesting is, Gil's friends were talking about spending and the finer things in life. A lot of that came up in questioning to me. I'm like, what business is that of yours? That between me and my new husband. I think certain things, certain areas of conversation shouldn't be talked about with your friends. As far as my spending, I really don't think that was any of their business. Maybe they know some things about Gil, thinking that maybe she's not a gold digger or just all about the money, and I can understand that, but let him deal with that, because these are two strangers who have lived a certain lifestyle, and it's not going to be difficult. So I'm not going to totally beat up Miral on this, because if I worked hard and I sacrificed a lot, and I'm doing a lot for the community. I work with children. I understand maybe where they at. I work hard because I've been there. I suffered and I struggled, and now I created a good life for myself. And if I want things that I necessarily couldn't have had for most of my life, and now I'm able to, I really would feel some kind of way all of a sudden somebody trying to stop me from doing that. I would, personally, me. If I have the money to do this, and this is where management goes. You have a wife that likes nice things. She's going to buy. She's going to dress a certain way. I'm not, that doesn't make me a gold digger. I'm not saying I'm looking for you to constantly buy this, but this is up for discussion. Now, we will sit down and go over those things, and until they do, there can't be a big, we can't judge them. We can't argue, because it's a meeting of the minds. You may have been more frugal. I spend more with high end. Okay, how are we going to join this together? Are we going to have a joint account where we, build and put money in to take care of our household, to take care of vacation and whatever expenses? I have my account, and then you have your account, and I can basically do with what with my money that I can do. As a man, you want to take care of all the buildings and expense, fine. When it comes to vacation, maybe I'll splurge on that vacation. Maybe I'll also buy you nice gifts, and you can do the same for me. But at the same time, if I'm also working hard, and I have done this for years, and now even though you're my husband, you're brand new into my life. I'm not all of a sudden going to start shopping at the thrift store from buying high end all of a sudden because you're into my life, and you can't afford to necessarily buy me that. If I can do it for myself, why can't I still do that if nothing's being neglected in our home? And that's my opinion. I'm not going to say I'm going to make him feel less than because he can't do these things for me. I'm doing this for myself. Your wife likes to dress nice, and if she can do this, and like I said, nothing's lacking in our home with us, and we can still have a good time, don't feel bad, because there are a lot of households today, and especially when it comes to those of us of color, our black and brown families, a lot of times the women may make more money. That sometimes is the case. This is how sometimes things are set up. I can take a whole topic, historically on why that is the case. I'm not going to get into that now, but a lot of times our black men may not have gotten the great opportunities that maybe some of us women have, and especially in corporate America. She's working in corporate America, and if he's doing a labor job, he's a fireman, he could do very well. When it was him, now coming together, that's now 2 salaries though. That's 2 salaries. You should be able to do more, but you're going to have to, we need to budget, just see where our money is going. seeing how much we can put into savings, see how we can manage things comfortably, and I can still every now and then maybe not go crazy. I won't buy as much as I used to because I have someone else to consider. But should I stop buying myself nice things if I want to with my money? No, I don't think I should. So we'll see how that goes. I think only thing I can say with Miral that I'm getting, I hope she's able to compromise and not be so much, this is just how it is for me, and not consider the other person's feelings, because there's another side to that. I don't want to demean my husband or make him feel less than, maybe because he can't financially do certain things that I can do. And I don't want her to come off brass like that or disrespectful like that to her husband. That's the issue. Sometimes it's how you come off. Even though you can do better or spend more, don't do that to your husband and demean him in that way. So I can see Merrill probably being that way. And if you single for a long period of time and you used to doing certain things, I see how you can come off like that sometimes when you're not used to thinking about another person. I can get that because I've been single for an extensive amount of time. So it depends. When you're just used to you doing your things your way on your time, it's going to take some adjustment. But just respect your husband, and get to know each other outside of just financial and material things, because the heart of these two individuals and the work that they do, I can see that compatibility. I don't want Miral to feel that the things that she has makes who she is as a woman. That is not you. That's just some things that you can do for yourself outside of the context of this. What this man can't financially do for you at this time doesn't mean you can't build on things together, and doesn't mean he's a great quality of a man and character that you need. Forget the finances. What type of character does this man and this woman have? And I see good character in both of them. So I want them to be rooted on that, and not material things. Okay? So I'm hoping that's not the problem. She has a dog. Now, I can understand both of them were taking their time when it came to the kiss. She said the cheek. Of course, he would have liked the lips. He said the first thing he saw was her juicy, luscious lips. Okay, he got a thing for lips. You ain't getting none of them lips no time soon, Gil. I'm sorry. You're still a stranger, and I get that from her. You still a stranger. I hope she doesn't go too long without giving the man a little affection, because I can see what's about to happen in the future from those clips. It looks like that's still not happening for a while. So I hope they can get through those things. She's a little rigid when it comes to that, and I hope she can get past that as well. I just don't want them to keep bumping heads, and I can see that happening. The things that she has, that dog, not getting affection from her, those are some things that are going to be some problems. But it's how they work through those things and get through and try to understand each other and patience with each other. But this is like a 8-week experiment, so we shall see how this goes. But they are married, so let's see if they really want to be married and how serious they take it. Okay, so I hope we can get past that. Now, last but not least, Rachel and Jose. Now, they came down the aisle, they saw each other, everything seemed to flow pretty good. At first I couldn't read it, didn't know what the attraction was, but they seemed to work it out. Now, what I want to say about these two, it really flowed. They do have a lot in common. They had a nice conversation. He found out she had tickets, I think, to World Series or what have you. I knew it was baseball. He said, "Oh my God, why didn't you call me? I could have proposed to you on the Jumbotron." He was like, "Maybe for the anniversary, I'll do that." So they both love sports, unlike Val and Johnny. Bo was not having it. But Rachel's my kind of girl. She loves sports with her husband, so they'll have a good time with that. So when it came to, where they're from, Houston, that connection, the family, they speak Spanish. So culturally, family wise, all of that was gelling. She, he said you were everything that the experts asked for. And then, oh my God, embarrassing. She was like, yeah, I told the experts, I'm not all about the looks. It's more about the personality. He was like, ugh. He was like, what you trying to say? I'm ugly? So now he comes back and says, my wife doesn't find me attractive. My wife doesn't find me attractive. I'm like, oh my God, Rachel does not think, see, you not all that, Jose, because maybe she not, I'm going to stick to personality this time because the cute guy who broke my heart is not happening. So I told the experts this time, I want a man with a good heart that's going to treat me right. And if he's not drop dead gorgeous or whatever, looking like Jerry Clooney or Idris Elba or something like that, then that's okay. So he like, but you know what? And in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, maybe that'll humble you a little, Jose. Maybe that'll humble you, thinking, oh, well, she's not all into my looks like that, because you think you got everything else on point, and everybody else is crap, right? But eventually, it was said that she wound up saying that she do find her husband handsome. So, but she also sees in him the checklist he has, which is gonna be a problem, Jose. You got this checklist. Like Bo, y'all gonna have to stop with all these mean and one things this person has to have. And if they do not have it, they're not for you. I mean, is that logical? Is that reasonable? Because what if you don't have everything on their checklist? Which you just may not. So come on, brother. You got to give a sister a chance. That is going to be the problem. And she saw that. And she's looking like, I may not meet everything on his list because I'm human. So I see how this is going to be a problem. I mean, they look beautiful. They took nice pictures. The whole night seemed great. Everything flowed up until the time they got back to the hotel room. I think that level of comfort was there. They were attracted to one another. But those expectations are going to be a problem. You can't go around thinking people are supposed to fit into your box, into this checklist, and they're not crap, or what I really want to say, I'm keeping it clean, if they do not do that. So please, I hope you can understand, and the experts have a talk with his level of expectations and fitting into a certain mold, because relationships don't go that way. And you will forever be by yourself if you don't understand the compromise that a relationship has to have, Jose. You have to compromise. So I'm hoping for both their sakes, you don't break this woman down. But I gotta say this, Rachel, 6 months out of absolute heartbreak, and then go on a reality show where you're gonna meet a stranger who you absolutely not know, is not the way to start getting back on the bandwagon and getting yourself strong. Stop not spending time alone. And anyone that's out there listening, it's value in being by yourself. Take that time to heal before you go out there finding someone that's going to validate you and come into your world, because you got to validate yourself. You have to have strength in yourself. You lost the weight, you're feeling good, but that esteem, you still have to work on, Rachel. Heal. Some people need years before they jump into another relationship. Especially myself, with being divorced for quite some time. But I needed time for me and build on me. Because once you bring someone else into your life, that's a whole different ballpark. Now it's you and someone else. You have to be good with doing things alone. Maybe traveling alone, going out to dinner or a movie. Simple things alone. Love you. Fall in love with you. So you so strong and who you are that when you bring someone else into your life, you're good. And they're going to compliment you, but they're not going to be your entire world. Okay? Okay, so that's it for me. We're going to get into these couples and see how this progresses with the upcoming honeymoon and see where they're going and the time they're going to have with each other. And I'm excited to find out what goes on. So until next time, peace.